Innovation. Innovation.
Innovation Station, indeed, with Kaylin Shin. What have you got for us today?
Well, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about culture. And that's, here's what I think question of the day as well. So culture for marketing, not marketing the culture itself, but using culture as a means of marketing to create added value for the company, to create a good, luxurious, elegant image for the company. Because, culture kind of has that image in itself, right? So these days, what to choose for marketing is a huge thing for companies. Mostly, marketing costs a lot of money, right?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
But a lot of people, you spend a lot of money on similar things, right? On like TV commercials and whatnot. But what culture marketing can do for you is to link your company to a cultural aspect that people love and enjoy. And as we mentioned, like it kind of creates an emotional connection for those people who enjoy that culture to, in the end, love the company and the brand itself. So there are 5 aspects to this.
Okay.
So it could correlate to sales, sponsorship, synthesis, style, and spirit. They're all 5 S's, right?
Oh,
so they're
wow.
called the 5 S's. But spirit is like also called the halo effect. So I'll get into the details later. So let's start with sales, how they can use this cultural image to increase sales of a company. So one big department store a couple of years back, maybe 2012 or something like that. I don't know if you guys remember, but that's when they built the really tall, high skyscraper in Jamsil area. Right?
Okay,
Tower building.
Yeah.
And then there was a lot of rumors like, oh, the ground is not stable. The building's going to collapse eventually. And there was a lot of like safety issues. I think the parking lot.
There was a sinkhole issue
Yeah,
that was
there's
talked about.
Water was dripping everywhere. And people were like, is this safe? But you know what they did? They put on a limited time exhibition of the rubber duck.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the rubber duck on the lake? The big, huge yellow rubber duck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an installation artwork. So they installed it on the river, on Seokchon River, lake, from October 14th until November 14th. So just for 1 month, 5 million people came to see that rubber duck and take pictures.
5 million people.
Yes.
So like a quarter of the population of Seoul.
Yeah. And imagine everyone in Seoul was like, it's not safe to go there. But 5 million people came to take pictures, right? So it totally covered the whole safety issue. But not only that, they opened up a pop-up store at one of their department stores, and they sold souvenir rubber ducks.
Rubber duckies.
Yeah, so many people came to buy it.
Wow.
Would you buy that, Jason?
A rubber duck?
Yeah.
I have 2 kids. One is 1 year old and the other is 4. And in the bathtub, they have several rubber duckies. And I think it's great to have something that they recognize. So certainly if it's something that they enjoy playing with in the bathtub, if it's like a furry doll to, have when they go to sleep, sure, why not?
Yeah, but it's not a regular rubber duck.
Oh.
It's the rubber duck. So I think that's why a lot of people came to see it.
And how big
It was
the
pretty big.
Huge.
like
Yeah.
can't fit it in your house kind of big?
Oh, no,
I would
no,
say
no.
it's at least the size of this table.
Yeah, at least. No, the one that was installed on the lake.
Not the souvenir you buy.
Yeah.
The souvenirs are smaller.
So like bigger than a car.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, way
For
bigger
sure.
than a
Way
car.
bigger.
Yeah, so that's one example. Another example of sales is product placement that we call PPL. So basically, you're putting your brand or contents inside a drama, like a Korean drama, movie, and whatnot. So the most popular culture that birthed out of it and helped one industry is the chimek culture.
Oh.
Remember? I think it was 별에서 온 그대. It was a drama that starred
yeah.
Chun
Chun
Ji-hyun
Ji-hyun,
and
yeah.
Kim Soo-hyun. You watched it.
I actually didn't watch it, but I know exactly what you're talking about only because that particular chicken company just went through the roof because of her image, within that drama.
Exactly. Not only just that company, like the whole chimek culture,
Yeah.
eating chicken with beer.
That's right.
I mean, I think a lot of cultures eat chicken with beer, right?
Yeah.
But it's just that chimek, it was a coined term back then. And so many tourists from like China and Southeast Asia and whatnot, from all around the world, came to Korea to have like chimek parties back then.
Oh, you're right.
Right?
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah,
remember.
so that's a kind of, product placement that birthed into an increase of sales. So yeah, culture marketing is used in so many different areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we have one more time before song break, right? One?
Sure.
Okay, so sponsorship. So not only can you directly put your products as a marketing, I guess, strategy, as like a product placement in
Yeah.
like dramas and whatnot, but you can also sponsor a cultural concert or a cultural center and whatnot that's not directly related to your company's main product. So like a lot of big conglomerates, they have their own art galleries.
Oh, yeah.
It's a way to like up their image. All of them have art galleries.
That's sort of like in North American sports, a lot of stadiums and arenas are sponsored by
Right,
big name
exactly.
companies, and they're those stadiums are named blah 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 because of that sponsorship.
Exactly. And recently, most recently, actually, one big conglomerate, the L Company, they are sponsoring the Rheingau Music Festival in Germany, which is one of the most famous music festivals in that area.
Oh.
And they're using their higher, like the more expensive line. And they're putting like an exhibition in front of the music galleries and the art galleries,
Yeah.
the exhibition halls and whatnot. So it's kind of like a win-win situation where the music festival gets more money and this company can also, market their
Benefit,
brands.
yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, certainly, it's great when everyone benefits and everyone gets a better product in the end as well. All right, we're going to continue on with Innovation Station after a song requested by Jin Young Yi. This is Callum Scott with You Are the Reason. We're talking about cultural marketing with Kaylin on Innovation Station.
Yes, and I just talked about how one big company is sponsoring a music festival. Well, that was a sponsorship, right? There's another way of doing sponsorship. One credit card company here in Korea wasn't doing really well compared to other credit card companies. So what the CEO did was he started sponsoring big name concerts here in Korea. So when you see a big American star coming to Korea to perform, you always saw sponsored by this credit card company.
Yep.
And people who have the more expensive ones, the credit cards that you have to pay a lot for an annual fee, those people were invited as VIPs as well to the concerts.
Where they get like the better seats.
Yeah, better
or maybe
seats.
backstage
Or
passes.
sometimes like free, tickets as well. So they really put a lot of money into this, like the 10th concert with so-and-so credit card and whatnot. And they held the super concert series like that, which made their brand image really good. So they actually had more people sign up on their credit cards after that.
So it was a success.
It was a huge success. It's actually
Huge.
one of the biggest successes of culture marketing here in Korea.
Yeah, because I think the names that they brought in were you've never had these artists come to Korea ever.
Ever.
It's like Beyonce. It was like Rihanna. It was like
John Mayer.
Exactly. But none of the other, I guess, people who host these concerts were able to bring these artists, but then that credit card company ended up bringing them all, and now they have that name. So if you know that credit card company is hosting one of these concerts, you know it's going to be good, but it's also like a good brand image for that credit card company.
Of course. Yeah. Now moving on to synthesis. Synthesis means two becoming one. So basically, a product or a company wants to kind of embody the cultural aspect themselves. So one big, huge coffee brand,
Yes.
they started the take-out culture. taking out coffee culture.
Oh.
It's the S brand, the Star brand, actually. So in 1999, they opened their first store. Within 5 years, they opened 100 stores.
Wow.
They created a new coffee culture. So they embodied this culture and that spread. That's why this company is so popular for coffee. Maybe coffee tastes the same in another,
I mean,
a coffee shop.
I'm not much of a coffee drinker. Like, I'll drink it, but I can't tell the difference between, this coffee is better than this coffee.
I think a lot of people too. Some people are very particular about their coffee taste, but that's the thing, right? Some people, they don't have a taste in coffee.
Yeah.
But for some reason, going to that coffee shop and getting coffee from there, taking out a cup that has that logo on it, it's that kind of coffee culture that they created. Yeah. Okay, so another is style. So basically, one Japanese electronics company, starting with an S, the So company. So what they do is they brought style into their marketing. So, for instance, this style means like it's kind of like a similar pattern of their products, but incorporating culture. Okay, to make it clear, I'll give you an example.
Okay.
So this company first started making cassette tapes, cassette recorders.
Okay.
And then they moved on to something similar, like TV. And then game consoles, right? And when they do this, they do it with style. So when they come up with a new product in that particular city, let's say, then they would open up like a game center or like an electronics center so that people can come and enjoy their stuff first and then get a taste of it to buy it. So that's how they did it. So they created kind of like a
trial place?
Yeah, a trial place, but then it's
sort
like
of like those car companies that create like a track somewhere where you can go and take that car on a test drive, a high performance car, because you can't really do that in normal streets. And you don't want to crash it or scrape it while, driving next to somebody else. So to have like a track built specifically for that car.
And here in Korea, we have a lot of PC방s, right? Where people play games. They made a PS 방. It's kind of like promoting their own console. You know what I mean? So that's what they do. And then lastly, really quickly, the halo effect or spirit is when the government kind of promotes that nation and that kind of the company piggybacks on that. So for instance, if you think of France, right? You think of romance. You think of elegance. Anything to do with France seems very romantic in a way, right? So if it says made in France and it's perfume, it has that effect, right?
Does.
Chimek from Korea, it has that effect.
Yeah.
So any kind of like a cultural pertaining to a particular country, if you can piggyback on that, I think that's why Hallyu is doing so well, right?
Yeah.
So if you piggyback on that, that can also be culture marketing.
Very, very clever.
Wow, that was all 5.
Very impressive. Well, that was certainly very educational. Thank you very much, Kaylin. And we're going to be back with the second hour of our program right after Christina Aguilera with Lady Marmalade.